East Lothian is a place rich in history and many interesting features, a place where an abundance of unique statues can be found. But there is one in particular that happens to catch my attention. Today we find ourselves in the Royal Borough of Haddington, where the coat of arms happens to be a goat. And this town emblem is believed to date as far back as the late 1200s. This statue depicting two dueling goats is called the Goats of Haddington, and it's been in its place for roughly 40 years. And now, thanks to our interviewee, we will hopefully find out more information about this iconic town statue, such as where it came from. So where did the Goats of Haddington statue come from and who made it?
The history there is there used to be a television factory called Tandberg Development, and one of the managers of Tandberg must have decided it would be a nice gesture to the town to have a statue outside the factory, and they commissioned quite an important sculpturist artist, so that's where the idea came from for that statue.
Do you know why is it the goat as the emblem of Haddington? Do you know what it might symbolise?
There's no definite answer to that, but hundreds of years ago it's considered that the climate in this part of Scotland meant that the likes of grapes could be grown quite naturally. You may wonder what grapes have got to do with goats, but there is a link here. And back then, goats apparently were quite a common livestock, and because of the same climate, grapes were thought to be grown. The actual emblem for Haddington is a goat climbing up to eat grapes. That's supposed to be the history there, but it's lost in the mist of time if that's the correct story.
So I read in a Courier article from 2015 that there's a possibility of the statue being moved to a different location due to plans to revamp the high street. What are your thoughts on this, and do you like the statue where it currently stands?
The statue was originally located outside the Tandberg factory. When Tandberg's was then sold to Mitsubishi, which was another TV manufacturing company, they kept the goats. They're not an easy object to move. Then when the demise of Mitsubishi came around, they obviously wanted to retain these statues rather than say throw them in the scrap heap, because they're quite a eye-catching piece of art. So it was decided to put them on the corner of High Street, and I think that's a really suitable and appropriate place. Corner of town, I think it's a perfect location. To answer your direct question, I'd be struggling to think of a more appropriate place to put them. I'm quite happy to see them stay where they are.
So there we go. An interesting story that I never knew about a statue I would pass on a near daily basis growing up. A statue that has always caught my eye. As for the mystery of what the goat symbolises, it is apparently believed in general that the goat is symbolic of independence and faith. Goats also have symbolism in many myths and folklore as an emblem of determination, health and vitality, but we can't say for sure why it was given to the town of Haddington in the late 1200s.